If it's undercovered, underreported, or a waste of time, you can be sure we'll be heard. Nothing is off limits.
Welcome to Broad Street Radio.
Welcome to Broad Street Radio. I'm Michael Morris with my good friend, Esquire Joseph R. Reinier.
That's
is it
my
R?
That's my dead name.
Oh.
It's Joseph Gaines. Thank you.
I do like what you're doing with the hair.
Thank you.
Is it still called a soul patch?
It is.
Or is it a soulless patch when you're over 40?
Right. Yes, I have no soul.
Are you
it's
doing
actually
it?
the soul from my shoe?
But are you doing this because you're building a TikTok following? Is that what's
that
going
is
on?
my following is exploding with Asian women. Basically, yeah. I'm big with the Asian
You're big
women
in the Thai community
with nondescript. What are they called? Handles? I don't know what they're called in TikTok.
Hand jobs?
Yes, that's it.
They're not called handles.
Handies.
If they're holding it after the fact, you've got a problem.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, get the towel, but you know.
Yeah, this show brought to you by Lubriderm.
Lubriderm.
Question I have for you is that I notice you're doing a lot of the TikTok things, and I am too, and I figured out how to build an audience so that we can build a bigger audience on here. Question I have for you.
You're building back better, a bigger audience.
Do you know I'm the only one building back better right now?
I mean, just you.
Everything else is going to shit except our TikToks.
I had not noticed.
Well, whatever you do, don't pay attention to the news. Are you enjoying your experience with the TikTok? Because it could be going away.
You were telling me it could be going away. I wasn't aware of this because I've been napping. But yes, I am enjoying it. I'm still trying to just kind of figure out the platform. I feel like when I get on and scroll, it's just like, I don't know. It's some sort of like
it's like hypnotic. You can't get off of it.
It's like a projectile vomit or something. Like I don't know what's going. I love the live. The TikTok live is my favorite because I do.
Can I tell you what my addiction is? Is watching this guy who plays bingo, and I can't explain how he does it, but he's got like this weird voice, like everybody follow me on lives. Like, so he talks like
and he has 20,000 followers.
The guy has 37,000 people that are following him, and they're watching this. I don't even understand how to play bingo, but every once in a while, like he has his hat on backwards like a douche, like I do. And he has like this big, massive chain. And he's like, and I don't know why I'm watching this because it's just fascinating when he's talking to the camera, like, yeah, I'm going to hit this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't even understand this game. Then the next live that I flip up is a guy in a bingo hall. So that's a white guy doing it. A black guy in the same bingo hall. They both have these TikTok setups. I still don't understand the game, but I'm watching them for an hour.
I mean, this is genius. The fact that you don't understand bingo. I mean, it is complex.
What I don't understand is you've got a whole hall of people playing this game. How do you win money? I understand you get the numbers together and all that, but your chances of winning cannot be that high if there's 20, 30 people in there.
It's not that great, but we used to go to the one at Our Lady all the time. And for some reason, they stopped doing that. I have no idea why. But
well, the Catholics don't like to gamble.
They don't. They're very straight-laced. But they have no opinions on abortion either.
Nope.
But also, we had a lot of fun doing that. And it's more of a people watching when you get a gymnasium full of
But isn't that what
players.
the TikTok thing is too? I mean,
True,
when you're watching
yes.
a live, like, I'm not making this name up. This guy's name is Jew Fro Fragrance. That's his name, and he lives in California. You got to follow this guy. All he's talking about on this live
is it Jew like Julius,
not
or
like
Jew
like jewelry, except the
like Hebrew. Oh,
Hebrewish, yeah. Jew Fro Fragrance.
Fro.
The
guy.
Here
he is.
Yes. Now let me tell you what's fascinating about this guy. He's reading the comments. And every once in a while, he'd be listening to the Wu-Tang Clan as he's doing this. And someone will be like, what's your favorite fragrance for under $100? And he's got this cabinet behind him. And he keeps reaching and showing and all this stuff. And you think, who could watch this? And an hour into this thing, I'm like, why am I watching this? I don't even wear cologne. But that's what I mean is I think what you're seeing, the difference in what Facebook was supposed to be or Instagram. Like Instagram is more like a photo platform. Facebook was supposed to connect us where I was getting a peek into what your daily life is.
Mm-hmm.
When I've seen what your daily life is, I'd like to block you so I don't see that. But when you're on these lives and you're watching somebody do something as their hobby, I find it incredibly fascinating.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it sounds like it may be exploding and putting Facebook out. I was a client. I'm sorry.
Oh, never answer a client.
New phone, who dis?
Yeah. Aren't you my lawyer? I'm not here right now.
I'm busy right now.
I'm doing something. So the question for you would be, if they took TikTok away, like, wouldn't you quit the other apps in protest? We protest in this country, by the way.
We do protest
on almost every goddamn thing.
We climb walls and we do all the things. Yeah. At Capitol University, I think is that.
Can I just say this, that the people that were scaling the walls at the Capitol, now not all of them made it to the top, but I just want to say those weren't fitness fanatics. That was like my uncle. You know what I mean?
It was impressive.
I got to give him credit. What I don't give him credit for is, had you just gone over here, they would have opened the gates for you. You didn't have to climb the wall.
I mean, when you play Army every weekend with your buddies from, till the time you're 40-some years old, you got to be pretty good at it. I mean, do the rappelling, do the Army crawl. I mean, that's boring to go through the door that they open for you.
I wonder if that was actually on TikTok. That had to be on TikTok, wouldn't you think?
I mean, I would think if they had enough followers. I mean, I think by this time next week, we could go live at the.
So you want to storm the Capitol?
Yeah.
I think we start small. We do it in Columbus.
Yeah.
We just overtake that hill, and then we move on to something bigger.
I think we go to the Capitol and we climb over a park bench. We just start there. We just see if we can get over a park bench.
Nate, are you gonna be able to you're gonna bring the camera? Will you be able to steady cam that thing, or is it gonna look like that movie Traffic, where that guy let's just constantly run around and make everyone sick? The TikTok.
I love how you ask me a question and then just keep going, but that's okay.
It was rhetorical.
Well, when you stare at me like an owl who's in the dark, there you go. Nate does this thing where I'm talking to him and I'm waiting on the answer, and sometimes he just doesn't answer me, and I'm like, I guess I'll just keep going.
That's because you don't wait. You just say, "Hey, can you blah blah blah?" Oh, by the way, there's no blah blah.
I'm sorry. You're saying there's just random occurrences of me talking to other people?
It's just the fact that you don't stop. You ask a question and then go.
Because I don't really care about the answer. I just want you to know I care about you. Just enough to stop this fucking show just to see how you're doing.
Oh, okay.
I am transfixed on his shoes, and I think he stole those out of my locker in the 10th grade, and I might need them back.
Well, they are amazing.
8s. I might fit in the 8s.
Nate, are you on the TikToks?
I have one.
You're not like a social media guy, right? Like, you don't really do a lot on there.
Ish.
Do you not want your family in Canada to find out where you're at?
No.
Nate and I are Facebook friends now, by the way.
Yeah,
he doesn't like to talk about it a lot, but I do.
I asked him about it, and he just turned his back and walked away.
Yes,
and I thought that's not a good sign.
There was
for
a
you.
lot of shame going on there, but yes.
Well, you keep messaging me some weird stuff at like 3 a.m. So
I can verify that is true, that he does do that.
Well, I do prepare bratwurst at 3 a.m. So it might, you got to
not in a pan.
No.
The reason that the TikTok, I love to say TikTok because people correct me, and I'm like, I know you're listening to it 100 times. You're like,
I think it's just the talk.
It sounds like you're 70 talking about something, trying to sound like you're young.
The Facebook.
I'm hanging on to my. Remember when it's called the Facebook? Remember when Facebook mattered? Do you know what's weird about Facebook is you cannot grow your Facebook, and this is the point of contention. Facebook, which is basically a CIA machine to collect all your data.
Come on, Michael Morris.
Now Facebook put out a campaign, not directly through them. They did it the way that we always do, through the whores in Congress, to say that
through the Chinese.
TikTok is a Chinese app and we need to ban it. So Facebook's shares keep tumbling because there are not new users coming in. There are actually people that are deactivating their Facebook or their Instagram because it's not interesting anymore. They cannot innovate. It's like, what's the newest Apple product? It's the same. It's just an updated version of what they made, right?
Right.
So when you stop innovating, you don't have anything worth a damn to look at.
Right.
But engagement on Facebook sucks because, as we were talking about before we started here, you can only reach 11%. You can have 5,000 friends, but whatever you post will only go out to 11% of them. On TikTok, you can almost kind of target the audience you want to talk to. So you can go from 1,000 followers to 30,000 followers really quick, which is what people want. They want to be more engaged. They want to see other stuff. And I feel like if you strip away TikTok, I'm not defending it and I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying if you take that away, so there's only these two bland options, they don't have to innovate. They don't have to do anything new. So glad that you're answering your goddamn phone in the middle.
I opened up TikTok for the first time. I was going to see if I still had it.
Never been on TikTok
for a long time.
I thought it was his wife yelling at him. That's why I stopped. I'm like, Christ, is she all right? I saw the best meme though, because it was somebody bringing in this statistic to Zuckerberg, and as he's opening the thing, it just goes shit, and the guy that brought it in goes shit, and then Zuckerberg says it again. It's the trend is not reversing, and once something's not cool, like Nate just said, I sound like a 70-year-old man. If my dad gets a Facebook account, I'm off Facebook.
Yeah.
Not because I don't love my dad. I talk to my dad every day, but I don't want to see his fucking weird posts. You know what I mean? Here's the woman I should have married. Like, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, here's your real mother, or
Yeah.
whatever, or here's your other brother you didn't know about, or and
I also want to, I got to ask this question. 23andMe, speaking of another thing that takes over the world, would you ever do that? Because wouldn't you be worried as a man that, let's just say, is a Catholic, that you have kids out there you didn't know about?
I would be, especially going back to my my Chinese Catholicism. I mean, I take it.
Well, let's just go back to
seriously.
your string of relationships the last month. Pretty soon, you're going to be 73 years old with an 18-year-old kid showing up at your door.
I think so. I think that is what.
Why
is going
would
to
you
happen.
willingly submit to that? Do you know how? So my uncle was telling me, guys. So he was at his 45th reunion or whatever.
Mhm.
Two different guys did the 23andMe, so that their kids would have that. Like, here's your lineage and all that. Both of these guys had a daughter show up they didn't know about.
Was the 23andMe, is that referring to the 23
The DNA
siblings you
thing.
did not know about that are so
No.
it's 23andMe? It's like the
Funny
Brady
that you say that though, because The
Waltons.
Rock just found out he's got 6 more siblings that his father bred, if you will. Gluten free, like in Canada, Oregon, Florida. When he was a wrestler in those territories, so what you would do is you would
Nice.
stay like 3 months at a time or 6 months at a time, and then you would move for a year to another territory. He has all these siblings that you just found out about.
So you're saying when The Rock's father was a professional wrestler,
Yep.
and he would travel around and stay for a few months at a
And
time,
he only had to wrestle 10 to 15 minutes a night, and then he would just work out all day.
that he might have procreated with some locals or something?
Well, it's not that he procreated, or might have. He did the deed. And now The Rock, can you imagine that The Rock has to leave those people something in his will?
Well, that's there you go right there. That's now you're bringing
This
all the
guy's a
legal
lawyer.
questions in.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe that's the right reason to do 23andMe, because you might find out you're related to.
How upset would
Yes.
you be, Nate, if you found out your father wasn't like your father and your father's like Quincy Jones, but he would not acknowledge you? A guy who's a multi-millionaire, and then you go to him and you're like, Dad, and he's like, I didn't care about your mother. She was a hewer. Look at him pondering. He's
Yes,
sad.
it's like-
It depends how much bread's he gonna leave on my hand.
kind of a wash. I mean,
None,
yeah.
because you're a nobody, nothing to him. You're just a person that he didn't care about. That's what I'm saying. How depressed would you be? Jesus Christ, this
Just
took
like
a
the three of
turn.
us in the room. Yeah.
I just know that I wouldn't take that test for 2 reasons. One, I don't want to know about any saplings that got away from the tree. And 2, I don't want to find out my dad's not my real dad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Again, take the good with the bad with that, but I do.
I would post that to TikTok though. Here's my dad, not my real dad, and I just found out. Surprise!
Well, I think as soon as your dad does the 23andMe, he's going to have that Facebook account.
I'm just worried that
It's just-
that in Puerto Rico there's like 6 other kids running around that he didn't have anything to do with financially.
Well, actually, interestingly enough, about 10 years ago, I actually got an email, and I had an uncle that I wasn't aware of that was like a oil executive in Africa. He and the family were in Africa. Plane went down. They all got wiped out. I'm his closest relative. And I stand to inherit like $28 million. And
If
all I
you would
had
have
to
sent
do,
him money,
all I had to do was send him 30 grand to process it. And, I thought, who the hell's got 30 grand? Like, okay, Michael Morris, obviously sitting on a media empire.
so is he here now? Because I assume you sent him the money.
Oh, God, yes.
You know, it's weird that you bring that up because there was a prince who he had lost all of his belongings.
Really?
And I got that email also. And all I had to do was send him $30,000. And then he would reward me with land in his country.
So I'll probably tell you off the air because it wouldn't be interesting on the air, but I do know somebody that fell for that. And
his name is Dave Freetag.
Dave
Joshua
Freetag.
Berry. Can we bring up the fact also, since on social media,
dead man
this-
walking, dead man,
That's
dead
right.
name and dead man.
I'm sorry to Josh Berry.
I defended your honor.
the fastest white man on
not
Facebook.
Admiral Barry.
I said he was in the Navy and that he was a seaman. I didn't mean that. He was in the Army and was a seaman.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I didn't want Josh to listen to this. I
No chance.
apologize. There's no chance at all.
Zero chance.
My mom said, "Are you still doing those silly podcasts?" And I said, "Have you listened?" She goes, "Scott, no."
Although there's probably every reason they should be reviewing this at the Pentagon, but they're probably not. They're overlooking the obvious, I think. They're just overlooking it.
We should send the link to this show and the last show directly to the Pentagon so
Yes.
Josh opens it.
I mean, we already announced our plans to overtake the park bench at the Capitol. So
Yeah,
you know,
but
there is that.
on the second show, not on the first one, they won't see it coming.
Right. We'll have a week leeway there. Yeah.
So do you? I don't know. You spend a lot of time on social media. Do you like? Which one do you like the best out of all the ones that are here?
Well, the talk, you heard it here first, folks. That's what the kids
We
are
need
saying.
shirts
The
that say
talk.
the talk.
The talk.
Oh, with Joy Behar's fucking red head on it. The talk. The TOs.
talk.
The
Yeah,
TOK.
The talk. The
fucking bitch.
the talk is growing on me 3 to 4 hours at a time. And yeah, so I'm new to the talk and trying to create a few things that are completely I can't use that word. Completely stupid.
What word were you gonna? Oh, you're gonna use special kid, weren't you?
I was going to use the bus that Mike Morris rode on.
Oh, see, you
The bowling
can't,
bus.
You can't say that word, but a way around it is you can go rat-tatted.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to. Okay, you got me on a tangent now. It's all your fault because you mentioned the bus.
Well, your soon-to-be racial epithets are not my fault, but go on.
So the greatest thing ever. I don't know if you guys did that. Which school did you go to? Elementary school.
Monterey.
Okay. So at Richard Avenue, because that was the best school, and not the Monterey,
They knocked our school down.
not the Monterey mud flaps, or I don't know.
You're really carrying that grudge 35 years later.
I mean, so did you guys have the bowling bus? Did you guys have the bowling bus? Because it was the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire
bowling
life
bus.
up until this moment. So we would.
Was it a
we
colored bus?
We had bowling teams.
I meant, was it a blue bus?
Was it a
Yeah,
It
there
was
were
yellow.
different.
It was
Okay, I just realized when you made that face, I didn't mean it like that. I mean, boy, I'm glad I followed that up because I realized what that just sounded like.
So we had bowling teams in like the 3rd and 4th grade, and the bus would come and pick us up.
Go
All
on
right,
the bowling
cut.
bus. I am so
Is this,
sorry.
Is this isn't my
Oh my
decaf?
God, that is hurting my feelings. But Jesus Christ, the
So
bowling bus.
I feel like I made this up. So it would come. I know some. Well, who were the fab bowlers? Who was the dude that was actually like on the bowling team? We didn't even have.
Wait a
bowling
minute, that was a real. I do remember we had the bowling bus, and I think it picked you. Did it pick you up with like 15
It
minutes?
was
left to
like
go?
on a Tuesday or Wednesday,
Yes.
whatever, for like 10 weeks. It would pick you up after school. It would drive you to.
It was driving to school. Go ahead.
Where's the fourth wall? There it is. The green. Oh, we do have the green screen. What are we doing? We got to get the bowling alley.
We're gonna have pictures of Selma, Alabama behind us eventually.
as we're bowling, and it would take you there, and then you would have this like round robin where and we got to name our own team. So it was like 3 or 4 kids on a team, and it was always like pinballs, ball busters,
Right.
or whatever. You know, our 4th grade / current humor. And then you took like $1 with you. I'm sad.
Why would you take the dollar? Explain the dollar.
The show is breaking apart.
God, this
breaking.
is terrible.
Where's Nate? Get the green screen in here. Get it in here fast. So it was for the special.
Special, go on. What was the special?
We're breaking down. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I gotta
This is
get cool.
horrible.
So
This
you're
is
the one. That's right. Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God.
The dollar was for a hot dog. And
Oh, and chips and a drink.
the
or what?
chip, but it just wasn't any chips. It was the Ridge chips.
Yeah.
And I think the guy that worked back there would, I think it was actually Nate. He worked the counter,
Oh,
and I
bowling
think
shoe Ned.
he took the bag and he crushed them all, and then he'd pour them on the plate.
Oh yeah,
and then you'd get the little Dixie cup of flat, the flattest Coca-Cola you ever had.
It tastes
And for
like they
$1,
dipped the shoes
and that
in
was
there.
the special. And then we would bowl, and then our parents would pick us up later.
I remember
and
that now.
I dumped like a $20 bill into the grabby machine, not that one, into the grabby machine to get like the dice out because if I ever owned a
you could have
vehicle,
gone to the Catholic Church to get
I
that.
could have
for
gone
free.
to the, yeah. So now what were we talking about? TikTok. Right.
TikTok.
Anyways, TikTok.
Glad we brought this all around. I literally don't know how we got that far into your bowling story. Oh,
But
it's
I just
fucking
think
hot in here.
I've told people about this, but oh no, hang on. It's like one button. I don't want the.
It suddenly
I don't want
became
the driving
92
school.
degrees in here.
98.
98 degrees waiting for tonight.
God.
Tell me a better song than that.
Aren't they touring now or something, or is that New
Well,
Kids
Nick
on the-
Lachey tried to be. Wait, they're touring with New Kids on the Block.
Oh, really? They
How
can't-
old would
they
those
couldn't
guys be?
independently. I'm sorry, they couldn't independently carry a tour. They all had to like.
Could you imagine that being-
Who else is like Menudo and
Did you see the Menudo documentary that's coming out? How they were all fondled. Odd that you'd have 13 to 17-year-old boys that they're going to make millionaires, and they just here's all the drugs and booze you want. By the way, all these fellas are going to tap into that.
is this like the Epstein like prologue or something?
Do you think
or-
it's odd that that was the other thing about TikTok is the information that you can get on there is so much more than you get in. It's not restricted. You have to be somewhat limited in it. But I've learned so much about biolabs and all that other shit from being on TikTok before it gets out in the news. Like the one of Putin, who again I'm a huge Putin fan. One of the things that he said was he was going to expose the U.S. for war crimes and all that stuff. And I mean, we're number one at that anyway.
I mean, USA number one, baby.
Yeah, we never stop when it comes
USA
to
number one.
we're going to persecute you whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
But one of the things that he said was he was going to expose COVID and all that. And so he told the press that there were 6 biolabs in Ukraine, blah, 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 blah. So they deny it. Well, it turns out last month there's 48 biolabs that we fund over there that we wouldn't have known about until our good buddy Vlad said something about it. But that I learned on TikTok before it was actually in the newspaper. And that's what they want to get rid of.
There you go. What biolabs is that? Like you like dissect a frog or?
That's when you like both sexes.
Oh,
Like bio.
both.
You know what I
Are you
mean?
implying there's only 2?
Well, I'm saying the 2 that we know of. If you're in the Midwest, you only know of 2. And then there's like that uncle of yours that really likes glitter.
Yeah.
When you're in other states, I think there's like 100 different. I don't even understand that. I don't understand how there's
I need
more
a flow
than.
chart.
I'll give you up to 5.
We need to get the green. Why don't we just do green screen without anything on it? Just do green screen.
Like we just talk to each other and then
Yeah,
the green
and there's
screen
like a green
because it
screen.
doesn't work for the podcast, the audio part.
Hmm.
What would we put in terms of that? We could just have Nate play TikToks on this
Do I
phone.
have to come up with all the answers? I mean,
No. I mean, this is a discussion. We're kind of going back
Oh.
and forth on it. Yeah.
okay.
This is the brain trust.
Yeah.
This is it. This is it. This is the brainstorm.
Looks like you're about ready to go play poker.
I'm just going to TikTok here. Go ahead.
Are you going to TikTok while we're doing the show?
Yeah, let's do it right now.
All right, cool.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to wrap up the show while Joe is getting on TikTok, even though he can't broadcast it live. I don't know what he's going to do, but Nate, in the closing argument here, are you for the TikTok or not?
If
Are
it
you
make-
for freedom is what I'm saying.
If it makes me money, I'll do it. I will get back on it because of you, and be
You know
your
what?
and follow your.
Now we're like
account.
Josh and our fat friend, I can't remember his name, that they were in suites together. There we are.
Here we are.
There we are, everybody.
Let's see.
Let's get it. Now we're
Okay, now
here it is.
We're doing.
Look at us, get the microphones in there.
Really
They're loving it. They're loving it.
They're loving it.
Yes.
Monster Cola.
Why don't you end the show and then
Yeah.
you can finish your
Yeah.
TikTok?
Why don't we just do a show on TikTok? I'm just kidding. We
Oh,
gotta
we
wrap
just
it up.
need some more followers.
We just
that
get-
Michael Morris Media does.
Yeah, follow Michael Morris Media. We only need 11,000 followers to get to our 1,000. You've been listening to Broad Street Radio. We'll see you next week.